Morning to you. It's Thursday the 9th of August 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom tour, coming to you from Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire, boys and girls. Another nice day yesterday. Got a little video coming up for you very, very quickly this morning. All right, always my list of things. Nice that it's cooled off now. I do feel much more comfortable, I will say. Although for some reason last night, I had terrible trouble sleeping last night. Anyone have trouble sleeping last night? No reason for that, really. Just couldn't sleep. I'll tell you what happened, funnily enough. Shall I save that? I'll save that for a little bit later. No, I'll save that for a little bit later. These are the things that I had a visit yesterday from Bernie. Bernie is family on my brother-in-law's side. Okay, she bought me some nice coasters. Look at those. Aren't they lovely? Can you see those all right? Little coasters. And the placemats to go with them for the larger plate, and a nice little card. I think they're lovely, they are. They really are. And they are already in use, boys and girls, on my little glass coffee table, which is in the living room. Actually, I'll do the messages first. I'll do messages before I run the video, okay? And a little card with a peacock in it. Peacock. Hi, Chris. I hope you enjoy your new home in the countryside. Lots of love from Dave, Bernie, and Pete. Isn't that lovely? Oh, Dave, Bernie. Oh, there's a name there. Oh, I can't read that. Oh, Bernie, I've left a name out. Oh, that's deadly, that is. That's one thing. You should never start reading out lists of names because you'll always miss something. I can't quite catch. Dave, Bernie, Pete. Who's the other one now? Oh, gosh. Oh, I can't remember. How annoying is that? I'm sorry, Bernie, if you're watching this morning. I do apologise, my darling. All right? Now, okay, let's do the messages first today because the film's about 5 minutes long. Good morning to Mark Jones, first in on the Facebook Live this morning. Good morning, Mark. Diane's there. Hello, lovely Diane. The lovely Duke Chris. Good morning, Duke. Danny Gibbs up in Grimsby, even further up than me. Good morning, Danny. Adam the plumber's there. Hello, Adam. Haji, good morning. Hope you're well, Haji. Purnakamur. I think that's how you say your name on one of the Learn English website groups. Good morning to you. Hello, lovely Hayley. She's ready for the video. All local video just coming up in a moment. Good morning to Ray Reynolds, International. Morning, Ray. Let's have a look. Hayley loves the shirt. I'm glad you love the shirt. Good morning to Sis, Sharon. Danny, thank you. Danny was the other one on there. Thank you very much, Hayley. So I'll read those names out again. It's Danny, Dave, Bernie and Pete who got me those little gifts. Very nice. Incidentally, my nephew Gary and his family, they made me some plants in like this plant stand which are outside the caravan, outside the door. That was their gift. My niece bought me a lovely tray, which again is in use in the living room. Younger nephew, still waiting for a gift from him. Nothing seems to arrive from him, except that he rang up last night and he was going to come over with Charlotte, who is, I'm not quite if they're seeing each other or not. It's a very complicated relationship. But they were going to come over last night, but I was busy last night, so they couldn't come over. Why was I busy? All is about to be revealed, boys and girls, okay? So yesterday, I had a visit from lots of people, which was very nice. Who visited me yesterday? You're about to find out in this little video, which I have entitled River Walk, which we recorded yesterday. Have a little watch of this. That's brother-in-law Martin on the right, Gary on the left in the red, Emily trying to keep up, and on the right there, Kimmy, which is Martin's sister, my sister next to her in the black. There's Tracy, my niece, on the left, and the little boy is George. Found this bush covered in butterflies, and they all flew up as we walked past them. Get a little bit closer, you'll be able to see them. All the same butterfly they were. Look at those, look. There were loads of them on there. So pretty. Just like myself, gang. Taking a walk up to the river. It was a little bit hard work, I think, for my niece pushing baby James on those stones. They're all loose there. You couldn't cycle along there, really. Off to find some ducks to feed. Baby James. This is the river. Right at the top of the marina. The bridge has just been refurbished. It was closed for 7 weeks which put half an hour on the journey. Did you see her then? Searching for the ducks. Aha. Do they look hungry to you? Or do you look hungry looking at them? That is the question.
They like that, don't they? Do they like that, kids?
Never go to a bit of water without a packet of bread.
You've got a fire one, George.
I think they were quite grateful for the food.
You might get the wangly woo come out.
I also found some hair.
Thank you, I've got hair now, Emily. Can I have some more, please? Can I have some more?
Some more on them.
I need more hair than that. Yeah. I won't get a cold head anymore, will I?
George, no sticks, please.
Thank you, Emily.
Look at that boat, George.
Now, we found these two trying to put their boat in the water. It was one of those, what do you call them, like blow-up type boats. And there we are, all waiting to watch them get in the boat, hoping that something funny would happen. Here he goes. Oh, please let that tip up. Please. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, no. How disappointing. Maybe she'll do it. Oh, go on. Fall over. Please, please. Oh. Oh. What a shame. Emily being diva-ish. On the way back, we're on the bridge again now that we crossed over. See these lovely swans and ducks. Again, a little bit of bread that we saved over, we gave to those. And there is a goose. Look at that. There's a few of you I know that walk like that. And we so wanted it to get in, but it wouldn't go. It just sat there. Go on, in, please go in. Go on, it's thinking about it. Are you going to go in? Go on, have a little swim. Go on. Oh, how disappointing. Bye-bye, Mr. Goose.
Goosey, goosey, gander. You walk like that, don't you? I've seen you walking like that. I'm sure I have. So that was our little afternoon yesterday. It's such a lovely place. Literally, from the caravan to there is about 4 minutes walk. We walk through the park, through the what do you call it? Do you call it through the, I don't know what you call it actually. What is a collection of caravan park, I suppose. We walk through the caravan park marina, about 4 minutes. We go up 5 steps, I think, and that's where the river is. And that's where we're walking along. We walk along there. That gets to the bridge, so we kind of come off the path, over the bridge, walk through some houses, through this really little narrow path with stuff growing everywhere. We go past one house, actually. I've never seen so many plant pots in all my life. Hundreds and hundreds of plant pots, but there's nothing in them, just earth. So presumably, at some point, someone was really into the gardening there and all that business and was growing stuff and either moved on or gave up doing it. But hundreds of plant plots everywhere. And we go through there and then up again and we're back onto the river. And it's so nice and quiet and peaceful. I was so disappointed those people didn't collapse in that boat. Why do we look at things like that and we find that amusing? Usually at someone else's expense, don't we? We do find things amusing, usually at someone else's expense. Let me just give you a little example. I'm going to give you a little example as well. Now, if you're on my... Oh, I haven't said hello to the YouTube people. And Maureen's there. Good morning, Maureen. She just texts in. If you're watching the show on a television somewhere and you haven't got a computer, so you can't type thing, you can send a text and that arrives on a little phone next to me. 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675 is the texting number if you want to use that, okay? Over on YouTube, good morning to Joanna. Claire L is there. Good morning, Claire. Paul Mosley in Birmingham. Good morning, Paul. Let's have a look here. Where are we now? Paul's John Parrish says, hi, Butch. Good morning to you, John. It's growing, isn't it? This is coming along very well. I'm quite happy with this at the moment. I'm going to keep this for a few weeks, keep it trimming down. How many times do I need to go to the hairdressers every week now and have this done? Or can I do it myself? Actually, I spoke to Ronnie, my mate, yesterday. He's in Bracknell at the moment. He's having a bit of trouble with his chest, and I'm a little bit concerned. He probably won't watch this, but I'm a little bit concerned. He's very concerned because they've been doing some x-rays of his lungs and that. And they've now referred him to the Brompton Hospital, which I think is a chest lung specialist. Interestingly enough, that was right next to my old school. I don't know if it's still there or not, on Seagrave Road in Fulham. So my school, London Oratory School, was right at the end of the road. Like, you come to the end of the road and then you walk into the school. It's like that, you know. The road finishes, there's my school. And the Royal Brompton Hospital, I think, was just on the left. So whether or not it's still there or not, but they've referred him there. So he's a little bit concerned, as indeed am I at the moment. But that was a few days ago. And I was talking to my sister about that. They said, well, she said they haven't got him in very quickly. So usually if it's very serious, they will get you in very quickly like that. But they haven't, you know, it's been a while. But on the other hand, he's had a lot of trouble with his paperwork and administrative errors and things like that. So he's asked me to go to the hospital with him when they call him in. So I will do that. So fingers crossed for that, all right? Yes, that's why I mentioned him, because he said he could shave it for me with one of those things, you know, bzzz, one of those things to keep it, you know, that I don't really want it any longer than this. You know what I mean? I suppose, do I have to go every week to the hairdressers? God's sake, it's going to cost me £10 a week, dear. But worth it for you, so I can be continually good looking for you, yes. Simon says, I like the picture behind the wall. Where was it taken? You would have seen that. If you just watched the video, you would have seen exactly where that picture was taken. On the bridge where we were feeding the ducks. I took it about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just on a normal iPhone. Okay, sent it away and they blew it up. And that does actually exist. It's here. It's not like a green screen thing. This picture is actually here. If I just move the camera over there, you'll see it's peeling off there a little bit. Okay, that is actually a real picture there. All right, come out well, didn't it? Such a beautiful place around here, it really was. My sister says we all wait for gifts from Jimmy. I think she's still waiting for various birthday and Christmas presents over here, aren't you, Sharon? Roy's just off to go to Sheffield to meet up with some of yesteryear's TV stars. I'm doing that today. I'm quite excited. I'm going to meet Tom Edwards. Tom Edwards was on pirate radio. I think he was on a platform rather than a ship in the Thames estuary in the 1960s. And Tom Edwards also became a continuity TV announcer. He was on Thames Television in London. Do you know what that is? Now, if you're young, you won't know what that is because they stopped all that about 20. Can you believe it's 21 years or slightly more since we last saw a TV continuity announcer on the telly? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Now, the BBC, I think they used to have them when they very first started, but that was replaced by a symbol, a globe, which went round, and then it became balloons, and then it became that ghastly red box thing, you know, which doesn't tell you anything at all. Very corporate. ITV, however, they kept their continuity announcers right the way through until, I think it was 1992, somewhere around there. And then they did away with all of them. All of them. And Tom Edwards was one of the Thames Television continuity announcers. I also think he did Anglia and... and another one up that way. I can't remember where now. I'll ask him when I see him later anyway. And that's what he did.
So what's a continuity announcer if you're younger? You come on in between the programmes and have a bit of a chat with people. So, I don't know, Coronation Street would end, then there would be some adverts, and then Tom would come on. And a very good evening to you, and welcome to our programmes this evening here on Thames Television. Hope you enjoyed Coronation Street. Coming up next, we've got, I don't know, how, isn't that funny? You can't think of anything when you try. I was just trying to think of a police programme then. What is it? Da-da-da. And coming up at 9 o'clock is Minder. Right now, it's 8 o'clock here on Thames, and time for This Is Your Life. And you go, dun, 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 and it would come on. That's what he did. And I used to watch him. I'm going to meet him this afternoon. How exciting is that? He only lives down the road. I won't tell you where, but he don't live far from me, from where I am now. How exciting is that? We're all meeting TV stars. How blooming marvellous. Hello to Clarice. Did you find out what the green insect was? Yes, I haven't got that to show you, boys and girls. Yesterday, I was in my nephew's house because last night, after our little trip out last night, when I came back yesterday afternoon, rather, which you just saw, I came back here, had quite a late lunch actually. Then I went to bed for a little sleep, got up, then I watched Holby City on the telly. Anyone see that last night? Jac Naylor has collapsed. Jac Naylor has collapsed on casualty, and she's in the hospital bed with machines attached. I hope her transplant hasn't gone wrong. You know, that bloke was doing, that mad professor there, he's doing experimental surgery or something, and she's the only one left alive. I think he'd done 4 people, and then everyone else is dead because this little implant that he put in has got some sort of virus in it. Well, Jac Naylor's had the same one, and now she's collapsed. We can't lose Jac Naylor, dear. Not in Holby City. Then after that, I jumped in my car and went around my nephew's house. And as we were sitting there watching it, I have to say, I popped into the co-op on the way there to purchase, as gifts, of course. Not for myself. Not for myself. Some Haagen-Dazs cookies and cream ice cream. Oh, 500 millilitre tubs. I think they're the personal ones. So you have one each, don't you? And I bought 3 of those. One for my niece. One for my nephew. One for his wife. And one for me. Well, I wasn't going to have one for me. I was going to put it in the freezer, but unfortunately, the top of it fell off while I was in my nephew's house. So I had to eat that as well. So that was absolutely delicious. And we're sitting there eating that. And then she said, oh my God, what, my niece's wife said, so my nephew's wife said, what is that climbing up the curtain? And it was this massive green thing. I mean, I tell you what, I've never seen insects. These are all new insects, what I'm seeing out here in Lincolnshire. Things I never knew existed. Yellow, green. I mean, you saw that bush on the film I just played you out a little while ago. Did you see the bush with all the butterflies on it? I mean, I've seen 1 or 2 butterflies flying around in my garden, but I've never seen an entire bush covered by beautiful butterflies. Weren't they stunning in that video I showed you? Beautiful. Oh, you missed it, did you? Well, you'll have to go back to the beginning later and watch it all again. So this thing's crawling up there, so I posted it. Sorry, I haven't got the picture to show you. I posted it on Facebook, and it turns out it's a grasshopper. It didn't look like a grasshopper to me, because it wasn't that big. Apparently, it's a baby grasshopper. Baby grasshopper. Boing! And they jump everywhere. Completely harmless. Completely harmless. They jump up into the air. Apparently, there is a spider grasshopper as well, which some people thought it was, but it was a different colour. And the spider grasshoppers literally jump at you. Not because they want to attack you. Apparently, so if one jumps at your face, just move away or brush it off. Don't kill it. It's not going to hurt you. It won't bite you. But a spider grasshopper will jump at you because it's scared and its eyesight isn't very good. So it just jumps randomly. I mean, we could all do that, couldn't we, while we're out today? Start just jumping randomly in various different places. So beware of that. And then I came back for bed. Oh, the other thing I saw yesterday was this. While I was sitting there watching Holby City, look what suddenly went past my front door. Literally. That was about 6 foot from my front door, because I'm at the end, my caravan's at the end, and then it's a field, so they're collecting all this hay or barley or wheat, I don't know what it is,
in there. But if that's not bad enough, just before I left to go to my nephew's house, I wanted to go to the toilet. So I've gone in the toilet. Now, there's no one in the caravan, okay? I'm on the end, right? So if the toilet is here, right, I've got two front doors. One of the, I say front doors, it's on the side. One of the side doors is there. So there's the toilet, right? There's the front door. Well, there's no one that walks past, so I just leave the doors open. Do you do that? I mean, if there's anyone, I'd close and lock the door. Oh, I can't bear it. I can't bear people knowing I'm in a public toilet. Don't you hate those toilets in bars and clubs where the wall doesn't go all the way down, or the door? There are some clubs, they have a little door like this and there's a big gap at the bottom and a big gap at the top. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. But there's no one here. So I'm sitting on the toilet, door open there, and the front door, because no one's going to come round. Who's going to come round? I would hear them walking on the gravel. I've got gravel all around the caravan. I say gravel, you know, large stones. So if you walk on them, it's quite noisy. Quite a good thing, you know, to avoid burglars and things like that. I mean, I could leave the window open in my bedroom. And what if I couldn't hear people coming? Anything could happen to me. Anything. I've had that window open for nights and nothing's happened. But anyway, so I've got the toilet door open and the front door open. And what happens? A woman walks past. I thought, oh my God. I'm sitting there on the toilet. Fortunately, she didn't look to the right. She walked right past my camera. She was in the film. So it must have been her. Because then after I finished, you know, I kind of sheepishly peered out the window to see that she'd gone, and she was walking over to her car. So it must have been, and she'd parked the tractor right in front of the caravan next to me. So I think it must have been her driving the tractor. I mean, ladies driving tractors, whatever next? They'd be driving on the roads next. And voting. What is going on, boys and girls? Voting. Women voting and driving cars and tractors. Wherever will it end? Honestly. Are you offended by that? It's some offence for you. Are you ready for some offence? Again, those of you that are on my Facebook wall will have seen this already. Okay, you've got to guess what I am. Okay, you've got to guess what I am. Are you ready for this? I'm going to give you clues now. I'm usually... Okay, don't do it before... And then I go and do some of your messages, all right? Don't guess before I show you. Here are the clues. I'm usually in your front door. Okay, clue number 1. I'm usually in your front door. Clue number 2, I can be found on my own in a street painted red. Okay, there's the 2 clues. And here it is. Right. And you don't know what I am? Go on over. Go on. Oh dear, no sense of humour, some people. You're right to say anything. I ain't got time for these people who are offended by everything, I'll tell you that now. Oh, talking of which, did you see, I don't know if anyone saw the One show yesterday, they had John Cleese on there, you know, with a picture of Jesus sitting around the Last Supper table. But they weren't disciples. There were various different pictures on there. I didn't hear any complaints about that one. No one moans about that, do they? Oh, it's just a bit of a laugh. Like what Boris said, just a little bit of a laugh. Get real, people, will you? Okay, so the green insect, Claire, was a grasshopper, a baby grasshopper. Good morning to SRS Gregorian. Good morning to you. Ye Win No on Facebook. Good morning. Let's see. Let's scroll down there. Hello to Handy Andy. Waddle waddle. Waddle waddle with the goose. That's you, Hayley. You walk like that goose. I've seen you, darling. Handy Andy, did you like the old EastEnders? They're replaying them on the UK TV app on Drama Channel. It's free to watch. No, I did watch EastEnders when it first started. Was it 1983? I think 1983, 85, something like that. And I did used to watch, and then I kind of lost interest, and then that was it. I didn't watch it. Certainly, I wasn't. I watched it, I think, up to where Dirty Den, who died recently, where Dirty Den divorced. What's her name? I can't remember her name now. Then Angie. When he served the divorce papers on Angie on that Christmas night, I'll never forget that. Wow, what a piece of television for a Christmas night. And I watched it a little bit after that, and then I just came out of it, along with all the other soaps. Neighbours, I used to watch Neighbours. I never watched Coronation Street. I didn't watch Home and Away. So I came away from all the soaps, unless, of course, you include Casualty and Holby City as soaps. I used to love Dallas. That was my number one. Dallas. And, of course, have I mentioned before that a couple of years ago I met Linda Gray, Sue Ellen from Dallas. I stalked her outside Wimbledon Theatre one Christmas. And she came out. She ever so nice, she was. So there we are. Claire wishes her best to Ronnie. Hope it doesn't turn out to be serious. He was lovely at the weekend, almost as good as you at presenting. Almost, Claire, but not quite. Not quite as good, you must admit, Claire, eh? Morning to Mark Kepner. Morning, Mark. John's trying to multitask this morning. Don't do that. You know blokes can't do that, John. You're wasting your time. Only ladies can multitask. My sister... I hope she's not still with us. My sister tries to multitask. What she does is does cooking, watches the telly and tries to talk to me on the phone. But she doesn't concentrate on anything. So I lose interest in the conversation because it's not making any sense. The cooking gets burnt and she don't see what's going on the telly. She can't do it, unfortunately. My sister cannot multitask. And it's so obvious when she's doing something and I ring up and I'm trying to talk to her. It just doesn't come back. And if a child or husband or smaller child come in while I'm on the phone, she will be completely distracted and go on to them and completely forget about me. Coming back and then saying those immortal words, what was I saying? No, my sister can't do it. Most women can multitask, John. Don't try it. Men can't do it. We're useless at that. We can only do one thing at a time. Thank you, yes. Hello to Gary Butler. Morning, nephew. Paul says continuity announcers used to watch the programmes as well and comment sometimes. That's right, Paul. And they were always there in position if something went wrong. Now, that doesn't happen very often. It actually didn't happen very often then. But I certainly remember both Tom Edwards and Phil Elsmore, I think it was. And on a couple of occasions when the programmes literally broke down, they went off and they cut to the continuity announcer who would then have to fill in. And they'd like pick up a TV Times and start reading through it and just entertaining. What amazed me, I mean, it was a job I wanted to do. I wanted to be a continuity announcer. I didn't want to be an actor, nothing like that. I didn't want my own show on the telly. No, I wanted to be a continuity announcer. But actually, when you watch them, if you was like watching this is very up and cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, isn't it? Whereas you watch those continuity announcers and you can find loads of clips on YouTube. Just type in Thames continuity announcer or something like that, right? When you watch them, they're really cool, calm and collected. They're not like me at all. And they speak to you in a lovely soft tone and it's all very relaxing, even when things go wrong. And we're sorry about that, but we've lost the programme at the moment. We'll come to that back as quickly as possible. Let's just have a little look at what's happening later on tonight on Thames. And at 9 o'clock in Minder tonight, which is one of my favourite programmes, and it was all like that. I'd probably be a bit too racy for that. Is that the word racy? Fast. I probably would have been a little bit too fast for that. Although I suppose I could have been trained. Anyone want to be trained? Have you been potty trained? I hope so. Baby James isn't potty trained yet, I'm afraid. No. He came round last night. I was very worried there was going to be baby juice all over the place, but there wasn't yesterday. Hello, Ray. Thank you very much. He was on Pirates, Radio City and Radio Caroline. Tom Edwards, I'll be seeing him later, so I'm really looking forward to that. Hello to Q. Good morning to Q. Julian's there. Hello, Julian, you lovely chap. Let's have a look. Hello to Nino. Good morning, Nino. Julian says the last time I watched EastEnders, I went to see Fat Pack kick the bucket. Oh, did she die? Oh, yes, that was Pat. Oh, I can't remember her name. I met her as well. Yeah, she was doing a charity night once at the Black Cat. What a lovely lady. Ever so quiet she was. Such a quiet lady. Pat, can't remember her second name on EastEnders, but you know, yeah. Pat Butcher, that was it, wasn't it? Lovely lady. Nino is in the Philippines. Good morning to you. Clarice says, try multitasking and walking my 2 huskies and talking on the mobile. It's a nightmare. I bet it is. You should do one thing at a time. That's the thing, you see. One day at a time. Sweet Jesus is all I'm... Oh, something I saw on the telly last night. Now, do you ever phone in to quizzes on the telly? Now, usually they come up at the end of a sort of halfway or at the end of the show. You know, like X Factor. Like X Factor. So they'll have a break and it will come up. Today's competition to win a holiday for 2 weeks in the Philippines. Just answer this question. Has Simon Cowell ever had facial surgery? Call 0908 Calls cost £1.50 a minute and your normal rates apply. That sort of thing. Do you ever ring in on those? Well, I saw this one yesterday. Pam St. Clement. Thank you, Handy Andy. I saw this phone-in quiz yesterday. Check this out. Now, just have a look at this. Look at that. Now, what you had to do is find the name of a TV show on that. I took the picture of this last night off the telly. And you can win, I think it was it? Oh, there we are. £1,700 in cash. Or is that £700? Hang on, I can't see that properly. I've got my chat box over it. Oh, you can win £17,000 in cash. Wow. That's a lot of money. So all you've got to do is find the TV programme in that. And I can see that straight away. Third one down, Coronation Street. I'm sure you can see that. Right? Call now. There's the number. Don't call this now. This was last night. Plus, find the 5-letter colour to win an additional £3,000. Where's the 5-letter colour? Oh, can you see the colour there? Can you see a colour? I can't see a colour. I'm not very good at this sort of thing. It can go up and down or bottom to top, anything like that. Pepper. Is it red? No. White. There's white. I can see white. Okay, go to the bottom. Go one up. And the first letter there, first colour there is white. First colour there is white. Can you see that? But what I wanted to show you, look at the bottom. Total cost to enter both competitions, £10.80. So if you want to enter that, £10.80 to phone those numbers. Now, how many people do you think will have done that last night? And they would generally be poor people that would try and win. All they see is the £17,000. That's all they would see. £17,000. That's a lot of money to win. And it's only going to cost you £10.80 to have a go. Well, someone's got to win it, I suppose. I'd never picked up the phone. £10.80 to enter a competition. Jeez. I thought like £1.75 was bad enough. I didn't even enter any of those. And the other thing, you know when you're asked to vote on stuff on the telly, I think the X Factor do it as well. If you vote for someone on the X Factor, doesn't it cost you 50p or something like that? You know, years ago in the 1970s when you had opportunity knocks on or something like that, all it cost you was the price of a stamp. You never used to ring in and pick up the phone. Oh, only £1.75. Oh, is that all? Don't you think that's a lot of money to make a phone call? I do. £1.75. Let alone £10.80. That one is there. Who can afford £10.80 to ring in? Clarissa, hello Clarissa, says that what a rip-off if you lose. You certainly will. I mean, that's the thing. You know it's a competition, so they would say, well, you didn't have to ring up. That's a lot of money to lose, especially if you're on the benefits. Isn't it? That's an awful lot of money to lose, £10.80. But they're the sort of people that would ring, you see? It won't be those people, not necessarily rich, who are okay. Wouldn't be my sister that rings something like that. It would be the people that are really poor. I think that's terrible. I really do. It's like these people that go into that shop, Bright House. Have you ever seen that? We got one in Bracknell. Bright House, where you can buy like a 65-inch television, and you can pay weekly, £17 a week, over a period of 200 years. Not 200 years, but you know what I mean. Over several years, and that £700 television ends up costing you £2,000. I don't get it. I mean, we certainly, if we couldn't afford anything when we were kids, we never bought it. I'm the same now. If I can't afford something, don't buy it. End of story. That's how it works. No, got to have it now. Take it now. Take it now. Only £17 a month, for 4 years. How much is that? Shocking. And washing machines, they sell them all. Beds, sofas. Have you seen the sofas in Bright House? Oh, they are horrendous. Like corduroy. I hope you haven't got one in your house. Have you? Corduroy brown sofas. Absolutely ghastly things. Why would anyone ever have one of those ghastly brown corduroy sofas in their house is beyond me. Unless someone's given it to them for nothing, which I can understand. Shocking. A perfect home is no more. It certainly isn't, Clarice, darling. Hayley doesn't do. Oh, you done that, did you, Hayley? What, you rung the thing? God, madness, dear, madness. Well, so we've managed to show you. No one guessed correctly. I'm very disappointed. I am, of course, a letterbox. You see, because it's all in the news. Letterbox. Someone else has been offended. You ready for this? In today's Daily Mail. Here we go. Gatwick Airport staff have been banned from calling customers love and darling after one customer complaint. Here we go again. Here we go again. Now, I do it all the time. To the blokes as well as the girls, actually, because I'm a bit gay. So I do it to the blokes as well. All right, love. Hello, darling. Why is that offensive? Why on earth is calling someone love or darling? Why don't you just get off your high horse and go away? I don't understand it. Is it demeaning in some way? Why is calling someone love or darling demeaning? It's a bloody compliment. Are you that thick you can't believe that it's a compliment? Anyway, Gatwick Airport have been banned from calling customers love and darling after one customer complaint. So here we are, bowing to the bloody minority again. Employees have been told that they must address anyone whose name they do not know with sir or madam. Now, I must admit, if I'm in like a business situation, I will call people sir or madam, unless I know them. So, for example, going into Waitrose, if the manager's walking around and I want to know something, I'll excuse me, sir, can you tell me, or something like that. No, actually, that's wrong. When it comes to the ladies, I probably, excuse me, love, can you tell me where that is, please? There was no offence meant in that. Why are people receiving offence? I don't understand. How can you be offended by being called love or darling? All right, darling, how's it going? Where's the problem in that, for Christ's sake? Handy Andy says, I had a neighbour that hated being called babe or hun. Hun is a strange word. I don't have a problem with it. It sounds a bit odd to me. Hun. Short for honey. Good morning, Adrian Richardson. Morning, Rory. I don't get it. The story goes on. Service Standards Manager, Victoria Duffin, wrote to staff to tell them the new rule came after one single complaint. A letter stated, if you do not know the name of the person you are speaking with, please refer to them as sir or madam. We are in a customer-facing environment and must remain professional at all times. I suppose in that environment, yeah. Would I have a problem about a member of staff in a shop saying, excuse me, love, or excuse me, darling? Would I have a problem with that? No, I wouldn't, you see. I really wouldn't have a problem with that at all. The note came from contractor Wilson James. The company said to The Sun, courteous language is important, and we strive to provide regular briefings and reminders to staff of how professional customers' engagement should be delivered. Staff had been angered over the move, which has put an end to terms of endearment. It's awful. The airport is not the first to ban these sort of names. Care homes have care homes. Now, you imagine you're an elderly elderly person in a care home. Wouldn't it be nice for some member of staff to call you, "Are you all right, sweetie?" What's the problem with that? Care homes have been banned from using the terms sweetie, darling, handsome and love in the past. While celebrities, including location presenter Kirsty Allsopp, also vented fury over the terms. You stupid old bag. What a stupid old bag. What is the problem with caught up? I wish someone would come, "All right, handsome." I mean, they used to. Perhaps not so much anymore. Is that why? Not handsome anymore. But it is just the biggest load of codswallop you've ever heard. And we're constantly bowing to stupid people who don't even know what a compliment is anymore. Why? Rory says, "You don't look your age at all, Chris. If I didn't know your age, I would have said you were in your 30s. Maybe I am. Maybe I've been lying about my age all these years. Please call me handsome." So if you're out in the street, boys and girls, or you're at one of my karaoke nights, please refer to me, not by Chris, but by handsome, gorgeous, darling, sweetie, love, or mate. I know some of the straight lads, I know boys, you'd have a problem calling me love, wouldn't you? I know it's a little thing in your head and you've got a problem calling a bloke love. I understand it. You can call me mate. I get that. And I just despair with all this ridiculous political correctness going on all the time. I really do. But I don't have any of it anymore. I just turn them round on themselves. Well, if you don't like it, go away. I'm not interested anymore. It's just silly. Robert says, do you remember the Stewart saying, "Hello, darling," for his, Ed Stewart? That was right. Ed Stewart. Hello, darling. Do you remember that on Radio 2? "Hello, darling." Like that. That was a Stewart, Ed Stewart jingle. Stewpot, he was also known as. He did Junior Choice on BBC Radio 2. He died a couple of years ago. Not talked about much. His death wasn't mentioned much at all. It was kind of sidelined. I think there was something else happened at the time, but I can't remember anymore. Oi, sexy, that's another one. You feel free, ladies, or men, to shout at me at any time as I walk past you in a supermarket. Oi, sexy. What's the problem with that? And what's the problem with wolf whistling? Builders, gorgeous builders, stunningly good-looking young builders. All right, love, what is your problem being offended by that? You know, because I tell you what, ladies, it stops at some point, the same as it does for us. All these lovely compliments of how nice you look and all that, that all comes to a stop at one point, and when it does, you don't half bleed and miss it. Clarice says, my lad Damien works at a bar and calls ladies love and the guys fella. There's no problem with that. It's these idiots. It's these people that want to create trouble all the time, Clarice, that I really have a problem with. I don't think the normal person like you and me, I use the term normal very loosely for myself, but we don't have a problem with it. It's a very minority amount of people that seem to keep getting in the bloody newspaper and coming out with this crap. Oh, it does my head in, it really does. Let's do another news story. Now, this is sad. This is sad. Now, I've already heard the story on the radio this week, okay, on Nick Abbott's show on LBC. He's great, he is, Nick Abbott on LBC. There's some good ones on there. There's some crap ones on there. Nick Abbott's one of the good ones. Adrian says, what about the ugly builders wolf whistling? Yeah, please don't, if you're an ugly builder, please don't wolf whistle. Only if you're good looking, please. And do you know, I think that's a lot to do with it as well. I think generally if the person's good looking and they whistle, they don't get any comeback. If I wolf whistled, it'd be, dirty old man. Oh, go on, sling your hook, will you? Sling your hook. If you don't like it, go away. And they'd start writing to the papers. Adrian says they might be calling them dogs. Stop that now. Stop that. Anyway, on to this other story here. I've already heard a news story this week on LBC, and it's incredibly sad. It's about cats. And this, not them being cooked in China or something like that. It's not one of those stories. But black cats. Cats' homes are full of black cats that no one wants. Now, why do you think no one wants them? Go and have a rough stab in the dark, because you'll be so surprised when I tell you. And it's indicative of this particular day and age. Okay? I'm going to give you a clue. Smartphones. There's your clue. All right? I'll come to that in a minute. But the Mail Online story is saying here, dogs deemed too ugly for Instagram are being dumped at shelters by owners who want photogenic breeds favoured by celebrities. And some have been waiting for new homes for years. This is incredibly sad. Owners are dumping unwanted dogs at animal shelters because they're too ugly for Instagram, a shocking report has revealed. A survey of 514 animal rescuers is in the Daily Mail this morning, conducted by the rehoming website dogsblog.com and Direct Line, found that celebrities are driving the popularity of breeds such as the French Bulldogs, putting unfashionable dogs at greater risk of abandonment. This is incredibly sad. And they're likely to languish in shelters for longer as potential adopters want cute breeds such as pugs, Labradors and Chihuahuas. Shelters have revealed some of the most shocking reasons people have given handing their pet over, including a dog who, are you ready for this, didn't match the furniture. And another former owner who said they were talking about pets here, upgrading to a younger model. Isn't it awful? Some of the most unloved dogs. It's just horrible. Here's some other excuses. The dog grew. The owners didn't want their 6-month-old puppy as it was bigger than when they bought it 8 weeks ago. Family conflict. My sister doesn't love dogs, and won't visit us anymore. Dog had an accident. This is why they gave the pet away. It weed once on the carpet. Puppies wee on carpets. If you don't want the mess, don't get a dog. Furniture issues. I want laminate flooring and the dog will damage it, and it didn't match the furniture. These are all dogs that have been put in dogs' homes. Doesn't want to pay. Going on holiday and boarding kennels are too expensive, so they gave the dog away. Unable to cash in. Dog was no longer able to breed, so was of no use to the owner. We're supposed to love these things. And they call us a nation of animal lovers. That's a load of old crap, that is. And you could possibly say, that you've always loved your dog and never gave it away. But do you eat chickens or cows? Do you eat dead cows, do you? Well, they've had to die. How can you call yourself an animal lover if an animal's had to die like that? Too old. That's a good one. Too old. Old age, tumours, health problems, or upgrading to a younger model. It's awful. Not sorry. The dog didn't apologise after fighting with another in the house. And it's just incredibly sad. That's the dog story there. The cats. Why doesn't anyone want black cats? This was on LBC this week. Because they're not photogenic enough. Same as the dogs. Apparently, if there's a black cat in a photograph with you, it doesn't show very well. That's why people don't want the black cats. How incredibly sad is that? I think it's awful. It's awful. And this is all to do with the smartphones, the selfie. Everyone doing selfies, and they want their cute pets so that it makes them look better. I think it's horrendous what's going on with humans. I really do. Absolutely horrendous. Wouldn't bother me what a dog or a cat looked like. If I wish I could have cats. I've had 3 cats. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to them. I get the most terrible asthma. Dogs as well. I would have a house full of pets if I could. When my last cat died, Katie, that was about just over a year ago now. That was it. I said, well, I won't have any more cats anymore because they just create us. I hardly get asthma at all now the cat's has gone. But I'd happily have another cat, a dog. If it had 1 eye or 3 legs, wouldn't bother me. Oh no, don't look good in the picture. I know a lot of, I mean, can you blame the celebrities for it? I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see more celebrities perhaps with, I don't know, disabled cats or something like that. Might make them more acceptable. But why have people got to buy something just so that it tries to make them look better? Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Let's have a look here. Brendan Brady says, your facial hair hasn't gone yet. No, it's not going anywhere at the moment, I'm afraid. That isn't going anywhere. That's not going anywhere, all right? Ray Reynolds, black cats are considered lucky in some countries and unlucky in others. But it was nothing to do with the luckiness or unluckiness. It's all to do with how they look in your photo. Awful. Adrian says, my pussy is now on my bed looking at me thinking, what is he doing now? Cats are so interesting. You've only got to watch them, what they get up to and do, especially as kittens. Well, they're a nightmare as kittens. They run up curtains and things like that. My mate's got 4 cats, which that are so well looked after. And one of them learned to climb up the release and blind as a ladder when it was small. Can't do it anymore because it's too fat. The whole thing had come down. Clarissa, how cruel can people be? My fur babies are now part of the family, not an accessory. And that's the problem, Clarice. People think they're some sort of fashion accessory now. You remember the fashion with the small dogs? They were carrying around in handbags. Dogs mustn't be, and it's cruel. You shouldn't carry a dog around. They've got to be walking. I even think it's a bit cruel, really, to have a dog in a flat. You know, they should be out running around everywhere. I'm the same with fish, actually. Little fish in a little tank. I think that's cruel. Goldfish going out, and their entire lives is to go round and round for your entertainment. No. No. And the great big whales. SeaWorld, for example, and oh yeah, well, we got a great big tank. No tank is as big as the ocean, sunshine. It's cruel to have these animals like that. Handy Andy, horrible people. They don't deserve to have pets. No, they certainly don't. Good morning to Cool Lemon on YouTube this morning. Alan Russell says, cruel bastards. They are cruel, Alan. How can you just give a dog away because you don't want it or it doesn't match your new settee? I think it's just awful. Paul says, I went to a dog rescue centre last week and they were serving fry-ups. I thought that was a bit weird. Oh, aren't you dreadful, Paul? Joanna wants to know what a fry-up is. You better ask. It's English breakfast. Joanna, bacon, sausage, meat and pig's blood is served. That's true. That's exactly what it was. Alan says there's enough dogs in his house. How awful you are, Alan. Paul says it's okay to kill a pig, I suppose. No, not really, Paul. It's not. It's not. They are even more intelligent than dogs. They know they're going to die. It's awful. Oh, just watch some of the factory farming things on the YouTube. That's what sent me vegetarian about 5 years ago. Stuart, good morning, Stuart, who says, morning, Chris. That story about the pets has really saddened me. How can people be so heartless? Well, they are. Not just with animals, with other people as well. You've seen how other people are treated as well. So if you're going out to buy a dog or a cat, choose the one that chooses you. Cats choose you. Absolutely. And whether it's black or white or tabby or ginger, 1 eye, 2 legs, If that cat chooses you, then that's the one that should be with you. And they do. Cats absolutely choose you. I could be walking along, you know, I might be a cat. Now that cat might not come over. It might just sit there and look at you. That cat has not chosen you. And there can be another time you can be walking along and a cat will come from nowhere and just run at you and stop. That cat has chosen you. That's the one you should have. Don't look at how it looks. That's the one you should have. All right? Hayley says pets are for life, not just for Christmas. Yes, Hayley, they are. Clarice says there's been a massive influx of unwanted huskies due to Game of Thrones. Well, I've never seen Game of Thrones. Huskies, are they the grey things with the beautiful eyes? They're beautiful, those dogs, huskies. Such lovely dogs. And I think most dogs are, it depends how they're brought up, you see. Now, my sister has got the most amazing Rottweiler. It's a great big, its head's like that. You know, have a fight with that dog, you've got no chance. The thing is, it doesn't growl. It doesn't hate people. It knocks you, it's so heavy, it knocks you over when it tries to say hello. It's one of those dogs. And I said the other day, my neighbour, a few doors down in Bracknell, she's had 3 Alsatians, very big dogs, never aggressive, never in all the years, all 3 of them, I never saw them be aggressive, all 3 of them, at various different stages of over the years, right? There's another bloke, a few further doors down, who runs a security business. And he's got 2 Alsatians. They are nasty. Let me tell you that. They are really nasty. And they've been brought up to be that way, I suppose. They hate everyone. And it's frightening. I don't think they should be allowed to be walked out, you know, in the public. Okay, the geezer does seem to have control of them, as indeed does his, I don't know, wife or girlfriend, whoever it is, live there. They're on these thick leads. What if that lead was to snap? Thick ropes, I suppose it can't, or somehow they let go of the lead. That's frightening. I hate those sort of dogs, I really do. Adrian says he used to work with a lot of pigs. Did you? Clarice has got a husky. It's a Siberian husky called Ice, with 1 blue eye and 1 brown eye. Yeah, I've seen that with huskies. They've got different coloured eyes, haven't they? And my Astra is a husky Malamute cross. I don't know what that is, a husky Malamute cross, but they sound nice. They sound lovely dogs. All right, we'll do one more story here. Where are we now? And this is looking quite good. In the Daily Mirror this morning, there's a new judge, and he's going to be on, I think it's Dave, on the channel Dave. Now, does anyone know if I can get Dave on Freeview? Can I get Dave on Freeview or FreeSat? One of those two? Or one more message from Alan. Alan's got a Persian Siamese cat. Oh, there's a lot of people that look like Siamese cats who've had face jobs, haven't they? Like that. There was someone on the radio the other day, on Talk Radio. She presents with, she's not one of my favourite presenters, I have to say, but she's on with Eamon Holmes, who should, I don't know why he can't do the show on his own, but anyway, he's got this girl with him who was on The Apprentice, apparently. And she said she went to a party and there was someone that actually looked like a Siamese cat with the work that she'd had done to her face. Alan says, our Persian Siamese cat is on heat every 2 to 3 weeks. Does my head in. I have to put a rubber glove on and give him a good sit. All right, Alan. Please, dear. Gary Anderson, my brother has a pit bull, which is the most laid, friendly dog I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm sure they are. It's how they're brought up, Gary. Clarice has a full walking belt with bungee leads and climbing rope leads so that they never break free. They're good. Do you know, I hate those dog leads that come out 10 miles. You know, they push the button and out they come. That's so annoying, that is. Especially if you're on a bike, they go across the path and they can't get them back in time. Anyway, let's go on to this other story. One more story for the Daily Mirror this morning. Would you make a good court judge? Give your verdict on these real-life cases and find out. So we'll do your couple, shall we? New TV show judge, Judge Romesh, gives comic, brutal and hilarious judgments on people's domestic disputes. Now, he looks good. Judge Romesh, he looks like a comedian. I'd like to see this bloke. How would you fare in the chair as a judge? The story goes on in today's Daily Mirror. Would you be a defendant's dream, dishing out soft sentences, or would you come down on offenders like a ton of bricks? New TV show Judge Romesh sees comic Romesh Ranganathan, that's his name, giving his stinging verdict on a string of funny and freaky cases which have been brought before him. I've got to see this programme, but now it's your turn to see how you would get on with the rope, the rig and the power. Click on the Take the Judge quiz now. So we'll do this. Take the Judge quiz now. Let's see what happens. So we'll do this together, shall we? I hope it works. Right. So he's on Wednesday at 10 o'clock on Dave. Now, does anyone know if I can get Dave on the Freeview or FreeSat, please? Right.
You reckon you're a good judge?
Here we go.
I'll be the judge.
Oh,
of that,
hang on a
mate.
minute. He's talking.
Take this quiz now.
Let's have a go. Oh, here we go. A man called Richard let his wife set up his photography website, only for her to call it Dick's Pics, because his name's Richard Dick's Pics. Now he's getting no work. Do we? A. Rule his wife has to pay for the costs of setting up a new business and website. B. Tell him to get on with it, or maybe consider changing his line of business. Or C. Rule he splits the costs of setting up a new business and website in a new name. Oh. Ah, but they're playing... Oh, I see. They're playing video... They're playing video... Oh, well, we can't really do this properly, can we? Because they're playing some sort of video evidence as well that I can't see or hear. Well, let's just guess. Rule his wife has to pay for the costs. Let's click A. How would I have done? Oh, hang on a minute. No. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, how disappointing. No, you've got to do it online. I tell you what. I'll tweet it. I'll tweet this story for you. Okay? You'll need my Twitter for that. Twitter.com/Chris Reardon UK. Twitter.com/Chris Reardon UK. Let's just tweet that link for you. You can do that because I'm just about to finish now anyway, all right? Sharon, oh, my sister says I can get Dave. Oh, that's good news then. Oh, hang on, let me log in. Got to do this tweet thing now, haven't I? There we are. Tweet on there. Twitter.com/Chris Reardon UK is where you'll find me. Except I can't do it. Oh, hang on. There we go. Paste. Is that it? Come on. I've got a very old computer next to me here, which does all my news stories and all that. It is quite old, but why buy new when you can use the old one, dear? You know, that's what I say. Has that camera moved around a bit? I think it has, hasn't it? Sorry. There we are. Come back this way. There we are. Like to have this whole screen. There we are. I've twittered that, all right? Twitter.com/Chris Reardon UK, and you'll find our little tweet there, and you can do that quiz later on and watch the judge thing. I gather it's quite amusing, so I'd like to see that. Gary says she should pay. So there we are. Gary says she should pay. Thank you very much. Adrian, when younger, we had a German Rottweiler, and when we were with him, no one wanted to get near. Shows he is talking teeth, growling, especially if there were only people get near was the butcher, my babysitter, or parents, but with a funny dog. All right. Okay, let's do today's birthdays, gang. There's only 6 birthdays today. Tony Flynn, who's just got a new job on a magazine, haven't you, Tony? So congratulations to that. 34 years old today. Nice to see you. It's been a while since I see you. I'm not at the Two Brewers anymore. I gave that up a year ago when they wanted to work till 3 o'clock and I didn't want to do it. So I gave that one up. So I don't see you much anymore. Well, I haven't seen you for ages now, Tony. Hope you're doing well with your life. 34 years old today. Happy birthday to Tony Flynn. Peter McKay today is 53 years old. Happy birthday, Peter. Christopher Jervis is 59 years old today. Good morning, Christopher. Mike Quinn, happy birthday to you. Simon Paul Clark is 34 years old today, and he's raising funds on his birthday for Marie Curie, £105 raise. He wants to get 150 quid. So good luck with that, all right? Happy birthday to Simon Paul Clark, 34 years old today. Marie Curie, they're wonderful people, they are. Oh, gosh. I think my uncle had them in before he died. He had a tumour in his head, and unfortunately he started losing control of everything. And the Marie Curie people come in and they don't judge, and they're lovely and kind people, wonderful people. So happy birthday, Simon. And Pattie Taylor's birthday as well today. So happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony, Peter, Christopher, Mike, Simon and Pattie. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthdays, boys and girls. All right, I think that's all today. Julian says, 2 large ladies in a pub and 2 guys say, where you from, girls? Scotland? That's Wales, sheiks one of the girls. Okay, he says, where do you Wales come from? Very funny, Julian, very funny. You're good with the jokes, I must say. All right, that'll do for today, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us. An absolute pleasure to talk to you as always. I'm quite looking forward to meeting Tom Edwards from Pirate Radio and Thames Television a little bit later on. So I'll tell you all about that on tomorrow's show, hopefully at some time in the morning. I'm going to go and see my sister now. We're going to get some paint. She's going to be decorating my room because I can't come up here next week. My friend Adam the plumber, I've got some flats in Bracknell, and my friend Adam the plumber is putting a bathroom in one of the flats for me, so I've got to be down in Bracknell next week for that. So unfortunately I can't come up, but that'll allow my sister to paint my bedroom. We haven't, probably going to do it in a blue colour, I think. Probably do a blue colour, so that's it. Stuart says, great to see you happy, relaxed and settled well in your caravan. I love it here. Gary says, are you by a canal? No, it's a river. I think it's a river. Is it a canal or a river? That behind me is where I am. That's like 4 minutes walk through the park, through the marina. That's where I am. All right, Gary. Thanks, gang. Have a lovely Thursday, and I'll chat to you hopefully again sometime tomorrow. Bye bye now.